Hey, how's everybody doing? This is our kind of like first online class session, although this particular video is intended to go over an updated syllabus. So first off, I hope everybody's doing well under the circumstances and is transitioning to online education relatively smoothly. As I said in an earlier announcement, this is kind of new for me and maybe new for a lot of you. So we're just trying to do the best with what we have going on under the circumstances. But the first thing I want to do, the goal of this quick or relatively short video, is just to go over an updated syllabus. So I'm going to share my screen here with you. And I want to go over what's available on Blackboard currently. So this is pretty much what your Blackboard homepage should look like. One thing that I've done and uploaded to Blackboard, if you go to course information and syllabus, is I updated the class syllabus. And so I want to go over that quickly. Just go over the major changes to our class moving forward. The first major change is essentially I got rid of the policy brief paper, so that's no longer there. And I took the points from that policy brief and added it to participation. So moving forward, one of the things we're going to use a lot is like the discussion board in class. I'll post different prompts there, and I want people to participate in those discussions by contributing maybe a news article or their comments or opinions perhaps on certain issues related to course material. And so all of that will count towards class participation. We still are going to have a few more assignments. Those will be provided on Blackboard. We will have some quizzes. Those will also be provided on Blackboard. And again, the goal of the quizzes, just as they are in class, is really to keep you up to speed with the course material, keep you on track, keep you engaged with the book and lectures, and make sure, especially in this online setting, that you're really kind of staying on track. We will, of course, still have midterm exam and a final exam. I'll go over like the assignment stuff and quizzes in a second, but again, and class participation, which will all of that will be on Blackboard, and I'll be sure to post announcements when those things are made available. So the one thing I want to say is that, you know, if you have like a disability or if you don't have a disability and you're really concerned about this online stuff, it's not ideal, and many of you maybe don't want or would never do an online course for various reasons, but again, it's just the situation that we're in. So if you have a disability and you're concerned about getting accommodations, and if you don't have a disability but you're just concerned about, you know, the course online stuff in general, you know, always feel free to shoot me an email expressing your concerns, you know, and I'll do the best I can to address those issues. If you do have a disability and you're worried about your accommodations and you're finding that you're not getting what you need from this online setting, email me, but also feel free to contact the Disability Services Office at Lehman. And they should be responsive in helping you get set. Again, we're just trying to do the best we can under the conditions that we're in. And so I totally understand, as you know, I'd rather teach this class in person, and transitioning to online in a week is really, really quick. So at the end of the day, like the material is going to be, you know, it's going to be difficult to really provide the same experience as we would have had in an online setting. Part of the reason why I'm recording my lectures is because, you know, I'm not familiar with doing online live class sessions, and I figured this was the safest way to go in order to stay on track. So if we go down to the course syllabus, where we're at currently, week 8. So last week we had no class Thursday and Tuesday. Today we're going to cover in lecture, and we'll go over this in a separate video, the policy process model in chapter 3. The goal for next Tuesday is to finish chapter 3 and cover policy instruments. Assignment 2 is due next Tuesday. You can post that or submit it on Blackboard. And then next Thursday, we'll cover chapter 4. The following Tuesday will be the midterm exam. So I'll get a study guide up at least a week before, so next Tuesday, to kind of give you an idea of what to expect for that. But it will be an online exam, and you know, these might be concerns for you, but I understand your concerns, and ultimately the class, in terms of from the student perspective, will likely be will be a little easier than it would have been in the in-person setting. So, exams are exams. They're there to test your knowledge. But just understand that it's not going to be as difficult as it would have been if we took it in class. And we've had some breaks in our meetings and things. So, but we do need to take the exam, and so it will be in a couple weeks here, and it will be a little easier than it would have been in the in-person setting. The day after that, we're going to do a review of the exam, so go over the answers and things like that. The paper discussion, we're not going to have that. That should have been deleted, but we're not going to discuss the paper because the paper is no longer there. They've updated the spring calendar in terms of withdrawal and incomplete dates, but we still have these big breaks in class. And so we won't have class for week 11 and week 12, essentially. And so coming back in week 13 in April, we'll jump into chapter 5, move forward to chapter 6. And then moving forward, the benefit of this online transition is that, there's less in-class discussion, unfortunately, but that gives us the opportunity to cover all of the substantive areas of public policy and finish through the textbook. And so that's how we're going to go moving forward. In terms of the final exam, and then you also see some assignment due dates here, which we'll stick to moving forward: assignment 3, assignment 4, and assignment 5. The final exam date is still there, and it's still in the calendar, and that's what we're going to do. Again, if you need accommodations, you need extra time, I can do all that on Blackboard, so please don't worry about that. The most important thing is making sure you have a quiet setting to do the exams, and make sure you're available during the times that we're intended to take the exams. And so that's what's going on there. So that's really the course schedule moving forward. Just to go over Blackboard really quickly, and if you have questions about the syllabus, you can post those on Blackboard. I'll add a discussion thread for syllabus questions. But that's the syllabus, and it's currently available on Blackboard. All right, so in terms of Blackboard, the course materials, all of the lectures, the recorded lectures will be posted here. Additional readings I'll announce if I have like a newspaper article, will be posted here. Assignments, so assignment 2, if you go to the assignments section of Blackboard, if you're not as familiar with Blackboard as others, like assignment 2 is currently there, assignment 3 and 4 and 5 will eventually be here. But to submit it, you just kind of download the assignment, do the assignment, and submit here. You can just attach the file and submit it on Blackboard, and that's really all you have to do. And make sure you do that by the due date. In terms of quizzes, the quizzes will be found here on Blackboard. And again, I'll make an announcement when there's going to be a quiz for lecture, so you're sure to at least engage with that lecture and definitely do the reading for that lecture. But quizzes will be here on Blackboard moving forward. And then of course, like the discussion board. So there's a number of threads already here. Some things I added to the discussion board are the student forum, which is basically an opportunity for you all to engage with each other primarily. I'm not going to be as involved with that discussion thread, but if you're struggling with online learning, if you're looking for tips on improving online learning from your peers in particular, you can post something there, and people can maybe help each other out with dealing with this online education transition. So it's really an open board for you to discuss online education issues, challenges, advice you might have for your peers. And it doesn't have to be just related to our class. It can be any class, right? I thought I'd just provide that there so you can stay in touch with each other in one way and help each other out. The other discussion board that I added is this thing called Coronavirus Gripes. And this is really just a forum, a discussion thread for you to essentially maybe vent a little bit if you're having a hard time with the situation that we're in with, staying indoors fairly frequently. It doesn't have to be related to class. It could be some challenge you're having with getting a service that you usually receive, work issues. And again, the idea here is that we're all facing some challenges under this current situation with the coronavirus, but you're definitely not the only one dealing with the challenges that you're dealing with. And so, it might feel like you're struggling on your own, but you're definitely not the only one. And so, this is an opportunity for you to share those challenges with your peers and maybe get feedback, advice, or you can just commiserate, share that you know, everybody's dealing with this, and we're all frustrated with it. But that's an opportunity for you to freely post what you want. And you can post funny stuff too if you want. You know, again, it's just an opportunity to engage with each other in this kind of online setting, and kind of provide advice, feedback, or just support each other in that way. The other thing that's going to be on discussion board moving forward are these lecture question threads. And so like today, lecture 12 is going to be posted March 19th, and you can add questions there related to the lecture. My intention is to post a lecture and then respond to questions the following day. So again, if I post today's lecture, the idea is that you watch the lecture and post comments by the end of the following Friday, right? If I post a lecture on Tuesday, that you watch the lecture, any questions you have, you put in the thread for that particular lecture by the end of the following Wednesday, right? So again, in the interest of moving forward with the course and making sure everybody's staying up to date with the material, I'm going to respond to those questions like within the next couple days after the lecture. And I want you to post your questions within that time frame so that we can all stay on track, and keep moving forward with the course material. Because we have a lot of like time away from each other. Obviously, we're not meeting on a regular basis, but you do want to make sure that you allocate time to this class in your schedule regularly. And so also, you know, in terms of class participation, I'll post discussion threads related to material from lecture and expect people to chime in on those threads. And that will count towards your participation. And so there will be more to come on that. I will post announcements as those things get posted. I'll mention it in lecture. But that's the idea moving forward. And again, like, you know, I'm kind of moving forward with this incrementally because this is my first time doing online teaching. I haven't received like specific training on online teaching. And so I'm just doing the best I can in the circumstances that we're in. And I think it'll work out. It's just going to be different. I don't like teaching in front of a computer as much as I like teaching and interacting with all of you. But that's just the situation that we're in. So if you have questions about the syllabus, I'll add a syllabus questions thread or discussion board on Blackboard, and you can put those questions there, and I'll do the best I can to answer those questions. The other thing is you might hear noise now and again outside. I'm in my apartment, obviously, and there's still activity on the street, so we might have some interruptions in terms of noise off and on. But that's basically where we're at with the syllabus, with Blackboard, and how we're going to be moving forward this way. All right. I'll talk to you in a minute in lecture.